Hello ladies and gentlemen, I'm Andy and I'm here with Matt and we're looking at a game called Light, which is being developed by Just a Pixel and published by Team 17. This game's actually out on the 14th, so out tomorrow, and it's going to be out on Steam for PC, Mac and Linux. So Matt, I'm liking this background music so far. What do you think of that?
I kind of like, I'll tell you what I do like. I do like the music already, straight away. But I also like the fact that immediately I know what this game is going to be about, just for the pure fact that it says you can sneak, you can hack, and you can steal. Now, if those things aren't in the game, that doesn't make any sense. So I'm going to be 99.9% sure that is what we can expect.
That's it. It puts the expectations right there on the screen. Sneak, hack, steal. That is what we're going to do. So at the moment, this is a preview copy, so it's got 12 levels. We're not 100% sure if there's going to be some more levels added later after its release. It would be nice to see them because a few of the starting ones are a bit short. But let's have a quick look at the options menu and see what we've got available. So we can change the languages, first of all. So there's about 6 different ones, but we're going to keep it on English because I don't know about you, Matt, but my French and German is not up to scratch at the moment.
Sure you don't want to experiment, maybe?
I'm sure. Well, no. Maybe another day. We've then got our resolutions up to 1080, which is, the standard these days, and we've got a full screen box, which is actually just a full screen mode. It's not a borderless window, which I have to say I prefer the borderless windows because I like to watch other stuff on other screens and click away every now and again. So it would be nice to see that feature added in. We've then got some anti-aliasing up to ×8, and we've got VSync, which actually locks the frame rate at either 30 or 60 frames per second. Then we've got various different visual effects here, which just changes. You can see all of the effects in the background here, Matt, where you've got like all of the scanning lines and there's glowing and glitching. You can turn them on and off if you wish, but we're going to keep them on because I quite like all the effects there. And then we've got some music and effects sliders.
Now, I can see you've got key bindings there. Me being left-handed, this is going to be very useful as being... I'm allowed to say this word, Andy, or not, because you're not one of us. The demon spawns. Left-handed. You are completely right. We can rebind all of the keys, which is it's good to actually see in one of these sort of indie games. A lot of these games these days don't seem to have them for some strange reason, and it is a really important feature for Starbound.
left-handers. Yeah, Starbound. We're looking at you. So yeah, rebindable keys across everything. Cool. Let's jump in from the start, because Matt, you haven't seen this game really before. So, with no idea where we are, who we are, or why we got here, the first thing we do is try and familiar ourselves with the surroundings. And we've lost our memory map. We are a pixel in this blueprint land, and we don't know what we're doing here. We can peek around like a peeking duck.
It's got quite an interesting field of view you got there, because it's not it's not your classic bird's eye view. It's a bit more like an aerial satellite view.
Yeah, it's quite a nice little thing, and I like this sort of effect that you can almost see. It's like a fog of war type thing almost, so you can see where we're going and what we can see. Although that doesn't really come into effect in the game. It is more of an aesthetic thing. But
are they planning to add more to the game or update it in the future? Is it just going to be like they release it and then that's it? Because I assume that it would have a purpose eventually at some point.
It does just look like it's an aesthetic thing, as far as we can tell. I don't really have any much more on that. However, we can do one of the things that the title menu said and steal. So we're going to steal this object, and it's a memo. But we're not going to let you read that, because if you play the game, you can read all of this and figure out the backstory. So yeah, the idea is you have to go around stealing all of these different memos, and then you can run into different areas, and then, as you can see, at the end of the level, there's various bonuses. So we got our time bonus here for completing it in 1 minute and 11 seconds, which was pretty damn slow, I think, Matt.
So is there any leaderboards that compete with time or the overall score? Is it like a competitive thing with other players, or is it just for your own your own personal thing? What kind of things we've got in terms of?
Yeah, it seems to be a bit of an own personal thing. It would be nice to see this expanded across to like friends lists and be able to compete with other people, but at the moment it does just seem to be a personal thing. So it adds a bit of replayability throughout all of the levels. So let's jump on into the next one. Okay. So we're really trying to find out what is going on here. So as you can see, we've got all of the blue sort of doors, and then we've got this red door. This one's actually locked, and we can't get through it at the moment. And stuff that's orange we can interact with, although we need to get through the door to be able to interact with it. So let's...
now I noticed your little purple friend there. Is he an enemy, or is...
he's actually part of the story. I mean, we can kill him at the moment, but we will lose a bit of the storyline from it, and I don't think we'll be able to complete the objectives. But as you probably saw there, we just unlocked that orange door. So stuff like orange doors you can interact with and hack your way through them or lockpick them. And then you can hack into like this computer here. So now we've hacked into this computer, we can enter into hacking mode. And you can see there's a line going across here. And that allows us to unlock the key into the master bedroom. So we can now get in here, steal this microchip, and hack our way through another computer.
So without trying to provide any spoilers, as best as you can, is there a way to describe, like, is there a story element to it, and what's the general kind of theme of this? Obviously we know that we're I said that we're we've lost a memory, but why are we having to be stealthy? Is that something we'll come to discover, or?
Yeah, it's something that people come to discover. You're really trying to figure out why you've lost all your memory and what's happening here. And you're really just going through the story, trying to avoid the bad guys that are keeping you against your will. And you sort of basically try and break out of the place that you're imprisoned in. And now, as we go into this other level here, so we got this sort of white guy. He's a bit of a civilian and a passive amongst everything. Oh god, we've set off the alarms already. There is one person chasing us. Oh Jesus. Okay, let's try and avoid him. So if you can probably guess, these guys are bad guys. Red means bad.
I could kind of tell.
He is coming out of the door, and oh god, you can see he's got a fairly wide field of view there.
They do not give up, do they?
These guys, no. We're actually quite lucky because if they manage to shoot you, it's a one hit, one kill. But you can actually kill them, but you need to be sort of in close range. They've almost got like a shotgun against you. But let's just hide in here. We can actually change our clothes, but although we've changed our clothes to this red guy, that doesn't seem to make much difference.
So it's purely like a aesthetic thing. It's not really
purely an aesthetic thing. One of the actual objectives was to find a disguise, and we found a disguise here as a red person, but everyone can see through your disguise, so it's a bit pointless in a way, I guess.
So these civilians, would they, if you were to get spotted by one of these red pixel enemies, do the civilians panic? Do they go into running around? Do they tell people? Like, how do they react to the situation when you're, when they catch you? Do they try and help or hinder you?
No, it seems they're fairly passive unless they find a dead body. And let's just kill this guy, for instance. If, for instance, they find this body, yeah, we can kill the other pixels. And you see that they've actually called for reinforcements there, because they've seen that we've got a dead body, and they will actually run away. Oh god, there's another pixel around the corner who's searching for us. Let's just run down here and get through this door. So yeah, they will hinder your progress, but if you're just walking around like this, they won't really do anything.
Now, is there, like, in terms of game modes, I'm assuming that there is just a single player thing that we're seeing right here, right now. There's no co-op mode or any multiplayer features. Is it purely a single player based game?
Yeah, at the moment it's just this one sort of mode. We're running around doing all the objectives, and there doesn't seem to be any co-op or anything with regards to that. No. So it's just a single player experience.
I mean, would you say that? I mean, obviously you've played a little bit of this beforehand of us talking about this and going through it now, but would you say that co-op would be a good or a bad thing for this particular game? Does having it single player only suit the game?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it would really work as a multiplayer game, to be honest. What would be quite nice is if they put in some sort of community support for people to add different levels to the game. So if you're able to like make another one of these levels and then get all of the enemies involved and just set everything up and find your friends and get them to play it. I feel like that would be quite a nice mode for it, especially if there is only just the 12 levels, because that would add a bit more to the game. And I feel like the sort of level design, though it's quite nice, it's fairly simple in its design, and I feel like it would be fairly easy just for someone else to be able to like get their way through this and make something.
It could go quite a long way with, like you said, having the community kind of support and having some sort of level editor, because then, I mean, already, how many levels have you gone through so far? It's the second one.
This is about level 4, I think.
Oh wow! So you go through them quite quickly then. If there's only 12, you kind of need a bit more replayability, it seems.
Like I said on the start menu, the first few levels seem to go quite quickly. Just because they're sort of tutorial ones, and it seems to sort of ramp up the difficulty as you go through it. So as you saw, like in that last level, we got spotted a couple of times. So I'm assuming that the later ones are going to be all sorts of like horrible in their difficulty. But there's just something I also want to just highlight here. So we've got the hacking. You notice we've now unlocked a good few things, so we can actually turn on and off all of the cameras around. So I've disabled like a couple of office cameras, unlocked one of these doors, and we can unlock the elevator, so we can then run away from that. We've done all of our objectives, and we've got reinforcements arriving in 19 seconds. How do we not see that? Now,
so whilst you try not to panic, Andy, hopefully you can answer this question and multitask a little bit at the same time. But do you have to hack everything that you see in order to complete a level, or does it really just?
Yeah.
Is there any secret rooms where you have like collectibles? I mean, that being said, is there any collectibles?
I shambled around a lot, too far there. Yeah, so there does seem to be an order in which you need to collect stuff and hack. Well, not collect stuff, but hack your way through the levels. So
you can't do it in any random order.
I could go out here and unlock this door, but you can see there's a security camera here. So which is going to spot us if we sort of go in. We might be able to actually run behind that desk and.
Oh, I think you got away with it.
I'll get in. Can we hack? So we could unlock that elevator straight away. However, the level is slightly easier if we sort of go up and hack our way through here. And we've also got the storyline as well, so we can't tick off that part of the story without actually going up this way.
So in this, I'm gonna see what you have to say about this. Based on what I've seen so far, it seems like an interesting. I like the kind of view that you've got, kind of the satellite aerial view, good stealth mechanics. But do you think that it's worth its current, the price that it is? Is it worth picking up now, or do you think that there needs to be a bit more content for someone to, someone watching this video maybe might be considering to buy this? Would you recommend it to them at this current, when it does release on Monday?
Yeah, I mean, I'm having fun at the moment. It's going to be £9.99 or $12.99 on Steam when it releases tomorrow. So at the moment, I'm enjoying it actually, and I feel like I'm not 100% sure if I would be willing to pay that at the moment. If it's just got the 12 levels, I would like to see a bit more content in the actual game.
How many hours do you reckon you'd get out of it? Like with the 12 levels, presuming they don't add like a level editor or anything like that. How quickly would you take if you just rushed, like if you're going to rush through the game? Is it going to be like a few hour experience? Is that what we're looking at here?
I mean, judging by the sort of speed that I've gone through the other levels, I reckon it's probably about a 3-hour experience. However, I'm not entirely sure like how much the other levels are going to take up time-wise, and if they're going to get like more difficult. Because, like I said before, as you go through everything, they are getting more and more difficult. There's more enemies. We've got to find 4 pieces of intel here. And then get to the exit, whereas like they start ramping up with it. The next one needs to find, I think it's 7.
And
so,
I presume, like right now, you're on your own. It seems like you're this little blue pixel, and you've got all these red enemies after you, some civilians that don't really help you. Is there any allies at all that you come across, or anyone that helps you, or that might be willing to not try and chase after you?
Try and not kill you?
Yeah.
Not at the moment that I found. I'm gonna die here. Oh god. Run away. Get out of my way, civilian.
So they actually block you off as well, those civilians.
They get in the way, and they get quite annoying sometimes. Which, I mean, I guess that's what they're there for. They're just to hinder you as well. I'm sorry, I've completely forgotten. They missed me.
That's understandable. I mean,
what you were trying to say there.
You're trying to avoid getting completely, ambushed, and unfortunately it happened. But yeah. So do you come across any allies, or is it just literally you're a lone wolf on your own?
It seems like we're a bit of a lone wolf. I don't want to spoil the story, but the way that they've set the story up, it seems, you will be a bit of a lone wolf through this, and you're not going to have any reinforcements, and it's just going to be going against all of the sort of enemy types in this. So yeah, I don't feel like you are going to get anyone else. You may do. There are parts. I don't want to give too much away, so I'm trying to be as vague as possible here. But there might be the odd piece of story that would say, hey, maybe there's another person, but I don't know if that would just hinder the experience, and we've been spotted again. Oh,
I noticed you stealing these files that have got text on them, but obviously because you just, that's. I don't know what happened there. I was really confused. You have to explain to me what just happened there, because that was a little bit of a weird experience for me. Were you killing them there?
I was killing them, yeah. So you can kill them and steal their uniforms and stuff. But yeah, I did manage to get rid of a couple of them, but we just fell down that last hurdle.
Yeah, before that kind of ambush went on.
There we go.
These little notes that you're picking up, do they, if you read them, do they have like extra value to the story?
So yeah, let's kill this guy. They're actually just piecing together part of the story and sort of bolstering everything out. So oh god, can we go through this guy?
So, but could you go through the entire game not reading any of the files and still understand?
You could go through the whole game without reading the story, and you could probably figure out what you're doing without reading them. I'm just skipping through them just to avoid sort of possible spoils in the story. But if you want to get the sort of full story experience, you would need to actually just read all of them to figure out what's going on.
And so, when's this game coming out? It's coming out on the 14th, is that correct?
Yeah, so it's 14th, so it'll be out tomorrow. But you know what? I think we're going to leave it there because I'm having massive difficulties with this level. But as I was saying, it's going to be out on Steam tomorrow, the 14th, for £9.99 or $12.99. So yeah, thanks for joining me, Matt. We've been watching Light, and we'll see everyone next time. Goodbye.
See you later.